behind the lyrics, on and off. This is one of my favorite songs, and it was also my first very dancey song that I put out, so I'm excited to go through it. Are you ready? A perfect life is going so well, like a dream that never ends, but it will then start again. Gaslighting got me under your spell. Even after all this time, I still question if they're lies. So obviously, kind of setting the scene, it's obviously about an on and off relationship, which is why it's called On and Off. It's also meant to kind of describe it with a narcissist, which by the way, I feel like narcissism is very trendy, but I do kind of, I'm not meaning to take advantage of this, but I do, I put out this song in 2020, wrote it in 2019, I kind of feel like I wrote about narcissists before it was a trendy thing, but I probably didn't. I'm sure somebody else did, so that's great, but I'm just saying, because I feel like every song never mind. Yeah, and it's on and off relationships are very disappointing, because I think usually they're off because they're horrible. But you go back to them and you go on because you miss them and you have memories. And while you're with them, it felt perfect. And also sometimes when you leave them, you can build up those memories in your head of our life was so perfect. We should be together again. And it'll be great. And then it's yeah, it wasn't that great. It was not that great. And then pre-chorus. Are you looking for a problem? Are you trying to get sick of me? There ain't nobody as awesome. Let's just agree to disagree. I remember this, when I wrote this, I was very proud of it. Looking back, I feel like it could be better. Hopefully I've grown as a songwriter. I wrote this a while ago, but it felt like the person kept picking fights. And and very much put me down. So I feel like the pre-chorus was very important to me because it was a way to keep standing my ground. And in real life, I feel like I did this because this was written about a real life circumstance where the person really, I felt tried to take down my confidence, and they would succeed at taking down my confidence. I'd feel really bad about myself after a couple interactions with them. But then after I'd be hey, I'm cool, you're wrong. And so then it was that kind of even in the midst of this crazy toxic relationship, keeping the hey, I'm awesome, that's your problem for thinking I'm not awesome. That's your problem, not mine, Chorus. Oh baby, we go on and off, will we ever make up our mind? I wanna know, on and off, will we ever get off this ride? I wanna know, will we ever make up our mind? I wanna know, will we ever get off this ride? So I've had a lot of times in my life where I've had to make a lot of decisions, or everybody does, that's not something unique, but make a lot of decisions. Or you're in a relationship, it's go back, break up, go back, break up. And how emotionally exhausted you are and emotionally drained you are from going back and forth. It's insane, and it really affects everything in your life. It can affect your school, your job, your relationships with other people outside of that relationship, because it's so exhausting. And sometimes I would be so off where it's I'm literally never talking to you again, never talking to you again. You throw out all the stuff, you make those steps and you're it's never happening. Throw the photos out, put the clothes on the ground, all that stuff, really get rid of it. And then a week later, and also sometimes it would be 3 days tops, but a week later be I forgive you, you're great, you're awesome. And then you have to haul out of the stuff that you put. And then I got to the point where I'd put the stuff in the garage, I wouldn't even throw it out in the dumpster because I knew it was gonna come back and happen again. And it was so exhausting. And it's just I want this to be over. I need to make a decision whether we're gonna be together or not, and actually stick to it. And sticking to the decision is hard, because you can say, yeah, never going back, or yeah, I'm in this no matter what, but it's hard. It's hard to stick to that decision. For me. For me, it's really hard, because like one thing happens and I'm like, you know what? I'm just done. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go back. And that's what probably my weakest quality in life. It really is. Verse 2. You changes cannot ever commit. Sometimes I think that you're great, other times I curse your name. This isn't cool, but no one will quit. Can't keep going on like this. 13 breakups isn't bliss. Yeah, so this is basically going back to what I was saying of like the view keeps changing. I can't commit. Like I keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And y'all, like I would make pro-con lists. And then I wouldn't like the result of the pro-con list. I'd make like 5 pro-con lists, all using like different like